Everyone, Kim here with Abundant Life Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me. I want to share with you all the decks that I am seriously considering buying in 2023. They've come up on my radar. I've added them to my wish list, my coveted wish list. I don't like to add a lot of decks there these days. So if you make it to my wish list, you are quite special. So I wanted to share with you all the decks that I am seriously contemplating adding to my collection. Now, I want to give you a full disclaimer. The decks that I mentioned here today, many of them could very well be added next year, or maybe just a few, or maybe none. I did a video, and I'll put the link in the description box, for decks I was planning to buy in 2022, this year. I recorded that video, I believe, in 2021, end of 2021. And that, it was interesting because I only bought like a couple, maybe like one or two of the decks that were mentioned in the video. So I just want to let you know that these are on my wish list. I may or may not get them. I think there was one deck, for example, it was the Pink Tiger Tarot that I mentioned in the video for 2022, decks I want to buy in 2022. Well, that one went out of print before I even got a chance to buy it. And it doesn't mean that I won't get it in the future, but that happens sometimes. And I also do deck interviews where I interview my existing deck, my favorite deck, and ask if the deck that I'm considering purchasing is one that is a good addition to the collection. And I still have to do that for these decks. So it's still a vetting process that my wish list decks go through, but I had to share with you all the decks that I've stumbled on, plus some cool honorable mentions. So you want to watch the entire video, because at the end, I'm going to mention a deck that I did back this year that I'll be getting sometime probably in the spring, late spring of 2023. A deck that I will be reviewing. I've been asked to review it, and I'm also planning to pre-order it. And then a surprising addition to a beloved deck. I'll give you a clue. It has something to do with the Moonchild Tarot. So the three honorable mentions will be at the very end of this video, but I have 10 decks to discuss with you. 10 Tarot and Oracle decks, some mass market, some indie. But yeah, settle in, folks. We're about to dive into some decks that you may or may not be familiar with. All right, let's get started. All right, so let's talk about the first one on my list of ones that I seriously plan to get in 2023. This is one of the ones that I know that will likely for sure be added to my shopping cart and purchase. That would be Syrian Shadows Earth and Bone Oracle cards. And what I love about it is the price point and the fact that it's available on Amazon, so I can get it with relative ease. And it's a beautiful deck. It's gorgeous, actually. I love the box. I'm loving the artwork. I love the messages and the keywords. The keywords have both light and shadow aspects to them. It's not just a dark deck. It is actually a deck, if you look carefully at the keywords and key phrases on each card, it has uplifting messages, but it also tackles the shadow. And it would be a nice balanced deck to work with. And I can also see myself pulling a one-card draw related to one of my Mystery Mystic Musings or Mystery Mystic Monday readings. So this is one I am very much excited to work with in 2023. And if I had to say, out of all the decks I mentioned today, which ones would be the serious contender for being added to the collection, this one is a top contender. This next one is called the Hartford Divination set, and you can purchase this on Etsy. This one has been on my wish list for a good chunk of 2022. And it has been in my shopping cart on Etsy for a while, or at least the save for later, I should say. And I am seriously thinking about getting this one. I love the artwork. I love the art style. It is a multifunctional oracle deck that you can use for readings for yourself or for others. I also could see myself using it for some of my shadowy type readings that I do as it relates to missing persons. It's a double-sided divination deck. It is considered an oracle deck, though, and it features 78 fully colored illustrations that feature themes of mindfulness and spirituality. And this may not appeal to everyone, but it's fine by me. The backs of the cards offer prompts to get you feeling, thinking, and moving, is what the creator says, and it's the Etsy listing. You can use them alone. You could use them as journal prompts, or you can even kind of use them as fun, like a fun game with friends, you know, to prompt questions and thought-provoking conversations. It does come with a 200-page guidebook, and it's also, I think there's an option on the Etsy listing to have a journal added to the order. I'm just really interested in the deck. It's gorgeous. So this is one I'm definitely excited about adding to the old collection in 2023. All right, so this one's kind of a cheat. This is the Memento Mori expansion packs, and they are up for pre-order. Whenever Clara Goodchild has a deck that is coming out, I'm always seriously looking to adding it to the collection. I do have the Memento Mori Oracle Lenormand deck, as well as the Oracle of Oddities, as well as the mass market Antique Anatomy Tarot. So clearly I'm a fan, and I'm already buying the Ancestors and Advisors expansion pack. It's already in my cart. I've already got it planned to purchase this week. But there's 2 additional expansion packs to the Memento Mori that's coming out in, I guess they'll be shipped January or February of 2023. That is the General Expansion Pack. And you need to check it out on Etsy. Check out what the cards that are going to be added. It's really cool. I just love these decks so much. And then there is the Folk Magic expansion pack. And out of the 2, I really am having a difficult time choosing. I think I'm going to get both expansion packs. But if I had to choose, I probably would go with the Folk Magic expansion. But you just don't want to miss out, because oftentimes once an expansion pack is gone, it's gone. So I had to share that with you all, because this is another serious contender of ones that I plan to pre-order or buy in 2023. All right, so the next one is Jamie Sawyer's Out of Hand Tarot deck, and this one's also sold on Etsy. You probably can tell I like to hang out on Etsy quite a bit for decks. This one is exciting because I love the perspective shift, where you are looking down at your hands, or it's like you're first person and it's your hands being at work at something. It's quite beautiful, and I think this deck is gorgeous. My friend Andy had showed us the deck when we were meeting up during one of our group meetings that we have as a part of my Ko-fi membership, and I was just in love. I was just in love. The gilding is amazing. The card backs are gorgeous. That perceptive shift is great, and it's 350 GSM card stock, so you know it's fabulous card stock. It's standard size in terms of the tarot size, which I appreciate. You know, large cards are very difficult for my ways of how I shuffle my cards and work with my cards. I work with jumpers, so I do need a card size that's manageable. And it's matte. Did I mention the gilding? It's matte yellow edgy, matte. There's a 96-page little white book that goes with it. And I'm excited about this one. I really am. I love Jamie Sawyer's work, and I know that a lot of people have seemed to be raving about this one. All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so this is a unique one, and it's been out for a little while, so it may not be new to you all, but it was new to me. It is the Radiant Wilds Tarot, and I just really am drawn to the colors and the desert landscapes that this tarot deck takes place in. It's modern, it's fresh, it's, usable. It doesn't stray too far from Rider-Waite Smith. And I just am really digging the feel of it. I even have started thinking about some of the oracle decks that I'd like to have play with it. For example, like my Lioness Oracle would go great with it, I believe. And yeah, it's quite special. You can get it off of Amazon or your other local major retailer. And it just really is something that is different than anything I have in my collection, to be honest. I'd be interested to hear if you all know of any comparisons and list them in the comment section below. Also, be sure to list any thoughts, questions you may have, or insights if you own these decks in the comment section below. All right, so this next one is one that I'm also really excited about, and it's because I live in the Caribbean now. This is one of my main homes, if you will. So we're talking about the Secrets of Paradise Tarot, an 81 card deck and guidebook, and it's inspired by Caribbean and Latin American culture and mysticism. This one drops on January 24th, 2023, so early in the year, and it's modern, it's fresh, and I am totally curious to see how the artwork really demonstrates the feel of being in a Latin Caribbean country and island life. So I probably, just for the sheer fact of curiosity, I'm going to probably be getting this deck. It is a Hay House deck, and yeah, it's available on, let's see, Amazon. I'm sure that at some point it'll be available on Hay House website. And I am really digging the artwork here, to be honest. I know it's not for everyone as I'm clicking through and looking at the pictures, this particular art style, but I just find it fresh and bright and relatable. And it's going to be a curious thing to see if I do add it to the collection, do a flip through. What are my initial impressions of the deck? And how does it relate to my experience thus far in living in a Caribbean country? All right, let's move on. Okay, so this next one I'm really excited about, and many of you already know about it. It is the Tarot of Oneness, and it is an 84 card tarot deck, and I just, again, appreciate the perspective change. Oftentimes when we are looking at tarot decks, we're looking at it as if we're standing and looking at a picture. We're not immersed in the actual expression of the card, right? This is different. It's almost like I'm looking down at my feet, for example, or I'm looking down at when I think of the Three of Cups, I'm looking at our hands from my perspective. I really appreciate that, just like I appreciated it with the Out of Hand Tarot. It just freshens up the tarot experience in a way that's exciting, and it's just so fresh and so new to me. I appreciate it. So I'm excited about it. It's gorgeous artwork. It is, like I mentioned before, 84 cards. 84 cards. There's additional cards in there. I think there's 2 different lovers, if I'm not mistaken. And this one is available for pre-order. I believe that this was up on Kickstarter. I didn't back it, so I didn't know much about it. But now it's available for pre-order, and it will be ready to ship in January 2023. So yeah, this one is probably not to be missed. I mean, yeah, there's some animals in there, and y'all know how I feel about animal tarot decks, but it's not entirely animal based, which is great for me. I need something else aside from animals in my decks. That's just me personally, you know. Some other cool facts about this deck is that it's 350 GSM and it's standard tarot size, so that too makes me excited. It's got a full color 192 page guidebook, and it's got a magnetic flat box with a spot varnish accents and a white ribbon for easy removal of the cards and guidebook. So it's quite special, this one. It's shipping though out of Canada, and so the shipping for me is a bit pricey, but this deck does appear to be worth it, and I am curious to hear from those who have it already. What are your thoughts about this deck? Don't forget to share in the comments section. Okay, this next one, you all, I am super duper excited about. This is another one that I'm seriously considering buying like right now. Well, I pace myself these days. I don't just dive right in. But if I had to pull the trigger on one of these decks, this would be right up there with them, right up there with the very few that I would do that. It is the Deep Place Oracle. And this deck is gorgeous. The artwork is gorgeous. It's 60 cards printed on 400 GSM paper, and it's a matte finish with shiny gold edging. I believe the cards are measuring at 3" by 4.75 inches, and it's got a guidebook and 2-part box that's included. And I love the messages. I love what this creator has done with this deck. Before I even go into how the vision that I have for this deck of which tarot deck it'll pair nicely with is my Moonchild Tarot. I have tried to use other Oracle decks with the Moonchild with so-so satisfaction. I'm thinking of like the Work Your Light and Starseed oracles. Those work okay, but I really feel like this one would work best with my Moonchild Tarot. This deck is divided into 3 categories. They have the above, the below, and the liminal. So all these different cards are featured in this deck, and it's broken up into sections. The guidebook is also detailed, so you get a lot of good information for each of the cards. I am really excited about this one, you all. So yeah, check it out. Let me know if you know about this one. Okay, so we've got another mass deck. Astrology Oracle. It is a Hay House deck, 55 card Oracle deck at that. And I'm excited about this one because I feel like it'll go great with my Herb Crafters Tarot. Now, the reason I say that is because I've seen some of my members, Facebook group members, showcase this deck in their readings and in our Herb Crafters Tarot mini study. And I am blown away by the amazing artwork. And it looks like there's a chunky guidebook. And of course, we love the price point of a Hay House deck. And yeah, I just think it's gorgeous. I'm looking at these cards, I'm looking at the images, and I totally could see myself getting into them. It's probably a matte feel if I can guess right. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, it's got some herbs here, and I'm not quite sure how it ties in the astrology, but I'm definitely here to explore that a bit further. I love the color palette, and it's something, it looks quite special. So I'm also curious to hear how you all are getting along with this deck. If you have it, let me know in the comment section. Okay, so this one I'm really excited about. This is the Tarot Feeling from my friend Andy from Metaphysics Made Easy. She does have an Etsy shop, and you all need to check it out. This deck is also available on makeplayingcards.com, and it is a double poker edition size deck, and it has photographic images that are depicted in the tarot cards, and I really appreciate this deck. First, for its size. It's handy, it's small, and it will go beautifully with my oracle decks that I've created to use in my professional reading practice. I use stock images in my own personal oracle decks, and this will marry nicely with those decks that I've created. And I can see myself using the Tarot of Feeling in my readings for both my private clients that come to me through my Etsy shop and through my website, as well as on the hotlines, because she has on the backs of these cards the meanings, the feelings that you get when you are looking, say, at the Five of Pentacles or the King of Cups or the Three of Cups, for example. You are able to flip the card on its backside and be able to see those meanings easily if you need to. And then on the front side the cards that have the images, it is numbered from 1 through 78. And so she has that available on makeplayingcards.com. And like I said, I'm super thrilled and excited to add it to my collection. This is one of the ones that I'll be definitely having in my top 5 decks that I plan to add to the collection in 2023.